Hi. How are we, old friends? Hi, Pa. Hi, Barry. I hope you're doing well. Let me put my hair down, because no. I love as well that I'm coming onto this goofy-ass music, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Hi there, friends. I hope you're all doing well. How are we? I mean, Barry, as we were just saying, like, yeah, no, I've spoken to you a lot today, so where's my drink's there. That's very sad. Okay. Please hold. Please hold. Of course, I've literally just gone live. You can tell because my parents messaged me. Probably too much berry for you, bestie. No such thing. No such thing. Pretty good. Still a bit hungover from the Halloween party. Oh, yes. I hope you had the best time. I hope you had the best time. Sorry, not to go silent. I can't text my parents and talk to you at the same time. Okay. But yes, I hope the party was really good, the Halloween party. I love that for you. But yeah, hope you had a good time. If you're still a bit hungover, I'm guessing you did have a good time. But maybe a bit of a shit day today. Oh well. This song is so good. Oh yeah, okay, cool. It's such a jam, right? It's such a jam. Okay, I feel like I don't know what things I've got to catch you up on, because I've not streamed for a while. When did I stream? Because my last stream, I literally just yapped. Like, we did not play any games, we did nothing, I just yapped. 28th of October. Why has my last VOD been... Huh. A part of my VOD has been muted from the last stream, but I literally don't recognise what's been muted. That's weird. That's weird. Iconic thanks. What was I doing when it got muted? Literally just talking. So at like 1 hour, 20 minutes, what was I doing? I'm just going to pause the music. Barry, we're going to need a list, because there's too many things now. Animal Crossing? Too many things. Like, get in the bin. At least Skyfall. Because like, that's the good one. I'll get into mine, is it? If so, I'm sorry. At least Skyfall. Who is out here muting or claiming, Animal Crossing audio? Get fucked. Anyway, the dress code was Halloween costume. Your friend invited you the night before. Oh no. Oh no. A €7 vampire costume. That's good. I'm glad you found something. Ooh. There you go. Appeal muted audio. You can get fucked, whoever you are. Because it's not Nintendo that's claimed it, it's somebody else. Cool. Claim disputed. Nice. But yeah, no, that does sound good. That sounds good. I was kind of thinking that today. It's been resolved already. Wow, that was quick, okay. They were just like, yep, fine, no worries. No, that's okay. Yeah, I was thinking this today. Like, I really don't have any costumes. Like, I have nothing. If I was gonna dress up, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I got nothing. I'd figure something out, but no costumes. Sad times. That sounds good. You'd also have nothing. There you go. You don't have one either, but you do now. Let's go. Like, I was literally thinking on my way home. For anyone that didn't see, which I think you both saw, but yesterday Twinkly Tour did one hell of a cosplay. And I was kind of thinking, like, Leighton cosplay one day? Like, I don't think this is going to happen because it involves me spending money, which I don't have. So, like, probably isn't going to happen. But, yeah. I mean, because Leighton cosplay would be quite easy to do, right? It's just like orange jumper, jacket thing, hat, jobs are good 'un. So, like, you know, that could definitely work. And then I could go to costume parties and people would be like, who the hell are you? And I'd be like, well, do I have a niche answer for you? But yeah, no, I could figure something out for sure. Honestly, I should just wear that day to day. Somebody came into work today, Barry, after you left. Somebody came in with a top hat on. Like I say top hat. It wasn't very tall, but it was, you know, it was a good ways off the top of his head. Love that for him. Yeah. I know, yeah, of course it was after you left, I'm sorry. It was a sort of thing like he left and me and our security guard just like locked eyes, like, what the fuck was that? But, you know, it was good. It was good vibes. This music seems a bit loud. Just lower it a little bit. I saw you get figuratively cornered. What was it? Friday close? That I think I did hear. Was it the close on Friday? Of course, you don't have to publicly tell people where you're going to be. No worries at all. But yeah, no. Did you get anything? And does it affect the cinema? Wednesday, Friday. Oh, okay. Wednesday. Noted. Right. That's interesting. Not interesting, informative. Yeah, no, he's done that to me as well. He said on Monday, would I be free to come in a bit early? And I was like, yes, but like, tell me tomorrow. Don't tell me on Monday. Tell me tomorrow. So, we'll see if he does, but... yeah, no, Don Porto, please. Sorry, that took me a hot second. Thank you, Pa. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. 12 months as well. You mad lad. Also, those emotes. Oh my god. Oh, Megan. Oh, the Megan emotes. Oh, I love that. I love that for Megan. Where's my stream manager? Let me see it bigger. Oh my god, the pride gyroid. Mimi, hello. How are you, lovely? I hope you are doing well. Why did I throw the actual hope you are like I'm a fucking android? I hope you're doing well, Mimi. Yeah. I no pressure to get to it. I did send you a DM on Discord earlier, like, how was your first week? I hope you're doing really well. But yeah, no, if you want to share, of course, tell us everything. How has your first week been? I wish you nothing but the best. I'm sure they're all grandma mode activated. I'm sure they're all lost without you already. You haven't seen. So okay. That is so okay, bestie. You've had so much going on. But yeah, I hope you are doing well. And yeah, I don't know. I'm happy. I'm happy for you. Yeah. I don't know what I was even saying then. Just random yaps probably. Your phone wasn't charging. Oh no. Oh, that's not good, is it? It was the plug. Okay. Okay, that's less bad then. What is concerning when that happens? I'm getting worried about my phone. I've started charging it before work and after work. That's not good. That is bad. But yes. You spent all the day without phone. Ah, okay. Got you. But I'm glad it's working now. Oh, because it's a new phone as well, isn't it? Oh, that would have been scary. That would have been scary. You charge yours like 5 times a day, your phone's a piece of garbage. Fair. I don't have a response to that really, but fair. Well, yours is just permanently attached to a power bank. Like, you don't see Berry. When Berry holds a phone, she holds it like this because there's a power bank attached to it. Like, permanently. My phone always does the thing. It can't keep up with my typing. I don't know if I just type too fast, but if my phone, all my phones, when they start to go downhill, it can't cope with me typing anymore. It just can't do it. I can hear fireworks going off as well. Love this. I wonder if it picks up on the mic. Yes, it does. I saw it spike. Been nothing but annoyed since you got it. It's because it's an Apple. You should get an Android. Androids are great. Oh yeah, no, I'm sure you were scared. That's like, ugh, when it's new, but I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it was only the plug, which I assume wasn't new with your phone because phone manufacturers have stopped doing that. But yeah. Thumbs up, yeah. Yeah. But you've done so well, friend. I'm so happy for you. I feel like... Let me try and find the right way to phrase it. Because you've been so overwhelmingly occupied with actual, like, real shit. I don't know. I feel like I miss you, friend. I'm just, yeah, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're doing well. These fireworks are quite annoying. I wish they'd kind of fuck off. Work is stressful, but you see a lot of potential. You see a lot of potential in it. Oh, that's good. Yes, I remember you saying that. Like, you're trying to dig your way out of someone else's shit, basically. But I hope... You know, of course, you know the situation better than me. Exactly, yeah. I hope once you've dug your way out, it'll just like... Oh, it'll be so good. It'll be so good. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. Oh, yes, Barry, I'm scared. What? What? Mm-hmm. Yes, I did. Did you... I wonder if I know what you're going to say. Let me see. I think whatever you're going to say, I think it might be in the bin. Oh. Oh, maybe not. Go on, Berry. What are you going to say? You don't know what you expected. What are you going to say, Berry? Is it already gone or something? What? What, Berry? What? Speak. Speak to me. I'm so confused. What did you... Right. For anyone that... I don't know how worldwide Toblerones are. This is what Berry's talking about. What? I mean, right, okay. First of all, yeah. Aren't Toblerones always this big? Like, when you say it's one sized up, what's the sized down one? Are they like regular chocolate bar size? Do they exist? What? Huh? Huh? What? I thought they were all that big. Okay, good. You have Toblerones around there. Good, good. Well, Google Images really doesn't give me a size comparison. It just gives me the product. I thought they were all that size, though. Are they not? They're smaller ones. Oh, okay. I was not aware of this. Do we sell them? But yeah, no, it's just a big one. It's just, that's the size that it is. It's the size of the box is how big it is. But yeah, no, let me just doubly confirm something. Yeah, someone that's not in chat is going to get offered this. Blair's going to get offered this. When they come into stream, I'm going to be like, hi, friend. But yeah, because you opened it and was like, why on earth would anyone want a Toblerone this big? I guess some people just really like Toblerone. And lucky for Blair, I'm not one of those people. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm removing Breath of the Wild music from this playthrough, this playlist. It's so slow. There you go. Give me Starship Mario. Yeah, no, I just assumed they were all that big. I mean, there's ones that big, and then there's like piss take ones. You know, there's like piss take massive ones. I didn't know there were little ones. Those are good for written on chocolate. You take that back right now, because I've still got Easter eggs that went out of date in July, and I've still not eaten them, okay? And I've got chocolate thing. Oh, no, they're not out of date yet. No, okay, never mind. But absolutely not, Berry. It's nothing to do with the date. It's all to do with the chocolate. I'm like, I'm all right. I'm all right, you know, but that's just me. That's just me. I'm genuinely, like, because Google Images, of course, just shows me the product. It doesn't show me relative to something else. I don't know about, I don't know how small the small one is. Oh, there you go. Is it like this? Because that looks weird to me. Like, if that's a hand, that's a little teeny tiny baby Toblerone. Is that what you mean, Barry? I swear that's the odd one out. But no, it actually is though, isn't it? It's actually raining free chocolate right now. Which, for legal reasons, we don't take home with us. They don't leave the break room. No. No. That one is another one that I bought from the shop with money. Yes. Like regular chocolate bar size. That's fucked. I've only ever seen big Toblerones, I swear. I swear I've only ever seen big ones. I think, Barry, I think you're the wrong one here. Like, that's weird. I do know about the mini bags. I do know about those. But, okay, interesting. Interesting. Wasn't prepared to see a Toblerone that big. No, I'm gonna park the jokes I was gonna make. No. Yeah. You already know. I'm sorry, it's... Yeah. No, it be like that, doesn't it? It be like that. Yo, I've been ill this week, but I've been very brave about it. Thank you very much. I've been very brave. And I've not even told my workplace. My dad's just replied with a gift. Oh, a medal. Oh, I see what he's done. Okay, never mind. A dad gift, truly a dad gift. Oh, I made a dad joke to Richie earlier. Our security guard. I made a dad joke to him. I think he appreciated it. I'm very proud of myself. There was the perfect window. It had to be done. Okay, it had to be done. Right, yo, shall we play some Zelda? I would not be opposed to playing some Zelda. Because it's been like a while since I last streamed Zelda. Right, I don't know what my controller's connected to. Is it connected to my PC? This is a question. It isn't. Okay. Please hold while I do that. You're going to hear some Windows noises now, I think. There we go. I was sort of expecting another Windows noise, but oh well, never mind. Right. Let's play some Zelda. So, last time on twitch.tv/SnowBearZero, I don't really know. We killed a lot of Guardians, and I think I wanted to go back to Pura. Sorry, I just lagged, didn't it? I want to go back to Pura. Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah, well, it's actually... I'm connecting it to my Wii U. That's what it is. It's not my PC, it's my Wii U that it's connecting to. Nice save, thank you. Oh, I don't want to have to stop the music on Forest Temple. No, I love Forest Temple. Right. Okay. Oh yeah, we did the golf shrine at the end there. Is it golf? Probably golf. Ooh, I can redeem another heart piece. Nice. Okay, things we could do. We could even nip into Korok Forest quickly. Or I could go back to Hateno Village. This actually never gets old, you know. Whee! Hyrule Bass, yes, yes. Because at Hateno, I can upgrade my runes, which is going to be absolutely huge. What do we think? I could do a cheeky... Oh, get the tower. That's what I will actually do. I'll get the tower right now. Even though it's a bit of a mission. I feel like I should wait to do Korok Forest until I've got my 13 hearts. But also I feel like I should shut up. And just go while I'm here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I know what I mean. I do appreciate your being here, though. Oh, hello. I was just like, what's that noise? Bite. Ooh. That's a decent weapon as well. Oh, great. See ya. I'll have that. Military training camp. Wait, is there... Can I go in there? There's a chest in there. Yes, please. Worth. Nice. Love that. Where's that? Oh, I know where that is, I think. Do I? Do I know where that is? Wait! Is that a floating shrine? Because the island's not loaded in? Oh, that is amazing. Oh, I love when textures don't line up properly. That's class. Because on the Wii U that I'm playing on, definitely, you probably couldn't see that. You probably wouldn't be able to notice. That's funny. Yes, yes, on my Wii U. Absolutely. Also, there's got to be a Korok, like, in this or something. Oh, there isn't. Never mind. Korok? Nope. Wait, there's just... weapons laying around. Nice. What should I chuck? I love spears, but... No, I should lash it. Okay. What? Okay. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Oh, get a life, mate. Ah, shit. I forgot that'll all be, like, really powerful, won't they? Oh, I think I just loaded Korok Forest for the first time. Right, so, I should engage with all these enemies. But I don't really want to. And, you know, I could just, like, not. Where even are they? Oh, there they are. I think I can climb stealthily, can I? Oh, don't you start raining. You wouldn't be so cruel, would you? Yeah, go to bed. That's right, go sleep. See ya! Nice. I didn't realise there was a Alphas in there either. Oh dear. There's been a car accident on your route to work on Thursday. Oh dear. Oh no. What the fuck was that noise? Did anyone else just hear like a crazy loud noise? I think my shoulder rubbed against... That's embarrassing. I think my shoulder just rubbed against the thing. I think I'm going to go round. Yeah, no, you didn't notice me, you fool. What's that? Ooh, that's even better. Good. Excellent. Right, is that two-handed? Yeah, that's two-handed as well. Oh, I've got so many two-handed weapons. I'm just going to drop this one. Wait, can I get up there? No. Oh, that's actually what it is. You know, my headphone cord is rubbing against something. And it's causing me so much noise. I think I remember there being a moblin on here. Oh, it's only a blue moblin. No. No, it's not blue. Bye. Oh, you're not going to see this coming. Whee! Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I thought you'd do a bit more. I have to move. Because the dude's probably right there. Right. Oh, no. That's a long climb. Oh, no. You're going to do some absolute fuckery, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Oh, no. Please say I'm shaded under this. Did you all even know it did this attack? I'm not sure I did. Also, I'm taking heat damage, but there's literally nothing I can do about it. I don't have like a frostblade or anything. This is fine, right? This is fine. This is okay. Where is it? Do you want to fuck off? Do you actually like want to not? Okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna just ignore it. I've taken like half damage now. Ew. This is disgusting. Oh wow, it makes it like heat wavy, I don't know. There you go, it stopped. Get wrecked. Okay. Oh. Yeah. No. Okay. More map, yes please. Yay! Shame the weather's horrible, but yay! Nice, love that. Okay, so shall I go to Korok Forest quickly? Well, if I go to Korok Forest, I'm gonna get sidetracked with the Korok trials, and I don't want to do. Oh, I don't want to do the Korok trials. Fine, fine, fine. Let's do them. Ooh, iron shrooms. Nice. Very iron. Many wow. Okay, let's do the forest. And I will first try my way through it. Probably won't. But that's okay. Ooh! Oh, they're flying away. Point grows. Okay. Well, I think I can actually see through it a little bit better. See through the fog a little bit better on how I'm playing this. Because you cannot normally see that far through. Where are you sending me? This way. Right? Yeah, okay. Nope. Where am I going? This way. This way. Yeah. I should also get the Korok mask while I'm in here, but I do actually forget where it is. Oh, this way, okay. Still this way. Yippee! I think I'm through. Yeah. Smashed it. Oh. Please hold while it loads Korok Forest. Okay, I'm hoping that there will be absolutely nothing at all different about Korok Forest once we get in. But I genuinely don't know if it will have worked. Because I've not seen it yet. But we'll figure it out together. Whee! Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, I'm very happy that this has worked. Absolutely sensational. Okay. I don't know what you mean. It's the diamond sword. You know, the famous diamond sword from the Zelda franchise. That's what it is. Yes, yes. Okay. Oh. Oh, Zelda saw herself. Nice. Zelda remembered what she looks like.
Who is that? Did I doze off again?
Yes, you did. Mm-hmm.
Well. It's you. You finally decided to return. Better late than never. After
Berry,
100
no.
years,
Bad.
I've nearly given up hope on seeing you
Bad
again.
Berry.
Even my patience has limits, you know. That look on your face tells me that you have no recollection of me, however. I have watched over Hyrule since time immemorial.
I don't want to interrupt the like cutscene to be like,
Over the ages as the Deku Tree.
personally
Is the weapon created
going deep on Berry right now, but
the sword that seals the darkness that only the chosen knight can wield against the Calamity Ganon.
about that, the chosen knight died. But you know.
What is it that you are planning to do next, Princess?
It did change it.
I cannot say whether you are worthy or not. The sword stands as a test to anyone who would dare attempt to possess it. I must warn you to take extreme caution. If you sought to free the sword in any sort of weakened state, you would surely lose your life where you stand. Best of luck, young one.
Thank you, old one. Okay, so it's the real Master Sword in the sort of cutscenes, but then it becomes... yes, the Diamond Sword. Okay. If you hope to pull the sword from its resting place... oh, sorry, wrong voice. If you hope to pull the sword from its resting place, you must use your true power. Let us see whether or not you possess said power. Well, I know that this is a bad idea, but let's do it anyway. Oh, it looks a bit fogged. Enough. You would have lost your life if you hadn't released your grip on the sword. Prepare before you try again. I will not stay your hand partway through next time. I will leave you to die. Be great victory. But yes, I'm very happy that this did work, because I wasn't sure that it would. Hestu's here! Yay! I'll let go everywhere. Oh, the shrine's back there, isn't it? You got some bad news yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry, friend. I'm sorry. I hope you're doing okay. I forget what this shrine is. Unless it's just a blessing shrine. Okay. Oh. Also, you think I forgot? Bish, I did not. Berry, you're literally so gorgeous. Shut up. Okay? I see you there. Shut up. Okay. I'm not sorry. I would say I'm sorry, I'm not. Don't be a test of strength. That scares me. Okay, no, it's not good. You thought I forgot? No. Of course not. An online card game you really liked. It's going to be shut down. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. I'm sorry. Right. Yeah, look to the stars for guidance. The constellations are the key. Okay. I do kind of remember this. So, we got 5 of them. Yeet. Then the, like, twin ones. I'm seeing 3. Yeah, 3 I'm seeing. Yeet. Nearly dunked it. Then the, like, big V-shaped one. I'm seeing one. Yeah, one. Then the big long one, I'm seeing two. Oh, again, nearly Zelda. I'm so confident I'm going to go down. Yay! Oh, no. Don't make me go all the way back up again. Right, okay, so I'm seeing 4. I'm trying to remember this all at once. So it's 4, 2, 2, 1. 4, 2, 2, 1. Okay. Yeah. Four, 2, 2, 1. Yay! Oh, nice one, Zelda. Watch it be something I don't want. Yeah. I mean, it's better than... Oh, I'll drop the torch. There you go. Okay. Da na 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 na. I like this one's pose. Don't. If anyone, especially Mimi, is thinking of making a joke right now, don't. Okay, I didn't realise the exact position that the monk was in. Anywho. I do remember you, Festu. What do you need for weapons? Ah! Okay. Glowy Hoppy. It's Miss Princess! Yay! Miss Princess came to visit us in the forest. I did not expect that. Peaks. Oh, he's called Peaks. Peaks thought of a trial that will make Mr. Hero stronger, but why don't you do it instead? It's not scary at all. But you'll need to be extra careful. So, I want to see a blue pea. It's blue, glowy, hoppy thing that glows in the dark, just about Peak's size. I really want to see a blue pea, even if it's just a picture of one. I knew you were a nice lady, Miss Princess. Thanks for listening to Peak's request. So, I don't know where they live, but I heard there are little blue glowing critters hopping about Hyrule. Apparently they're called blue peas. I wonder how glowy they are, aren't you curious? If you show me a blue pea, I'll be sure to thank you with a gift. Good luck. Huh, you, could it be? You're Miss Princess! Miss Princess is here! The mushroom on my head suddenly sprouted today, so I knew something was up. That was a bit weird. It was predicted that Mr. Hero would come, I think. Us Koroks all got together and prepared some trials for him, Miss Princess. But they're very tough trials, but why don't you give them a try instead? Shouldn't matter. Among the trials is an extra tough one designed by me, the Elder of Korok Forest. So will you test your mettle with the trials? Yes. You know, if you keep doing everything everyone asks without question, you're gonna get conned eventually. Thank you. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the Korok trials. Long story short, you need to visit all the shrines in Korok Forest so that you can be considered a real grown-up. Trial 1. In the Southwest Forest, Trial of Second Sight. Trial 2. In the Northwest Forest, the Lost Pilgrimage. Trial 3. The East Forest, the Test of Wood. If you can overcome the Korok trials, you can overcome anything. We've also prepared some wonderful prizes. Now show us what you're made of. Alright, do your best. Okay. Right. Let me go and get another heart container. Yay! I'm ever closer to my destiny. Nice. Oh, electric arrows. Ooh. I always need regular arrows, though. Take them all. Thank you. Oh, shit. Take them all! Okay. I heard someone would be coming, Miss Princess. That's why I opened the general shop. You're my only customer, so if you want to buy or sell something, let me know. Will do. Right. Oh, a ladle. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna, even though it makes me very sad, I'm gonna go and do the Korok trials. Is it down here? No, it's up there. I think for this one, I think I need to make room for a wooden weapon, don't I? Hey, Princess Lady, I was told you'd be coming. But do you really think you're ready for the test of wood? Some say it's the hardest of all the Korok trials. Oh, the jokes write themselves, don't they? It's not complicated. All you need to do is equip this Korok weapon set and reach the shrine at the back of the area. You ready to try it? Right. Oh. Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. Right, what do I want to drop then? What's my worst weapon? I want to get rid of the spear. Is that... Yeah, no, that one can go. Bye-bye. And shield as well. Oh, that one's got to go. That looks weird. Wait, no. Sorry, I can't make decisions. Right. Yeah. Fam! Stop talking to me. Let me do it. Yeah. Oh, I can't pick them up. Oh, okay. Right, fine. All I have to do is reach the shrine at the back of the area. Off you go. Okay. Test of wood. Let's do this. Oh. Okay. So, if I know anything about the test of wood, it's that bombs are your absolute best friend. Where did you come from? Hello. Oh, I didn't kill it. Oh, I should have upgraded bombs. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Absolutely wrecked. Oh, that does so little damage to the big one. Good. Excellent. Okay. Do I want to go that way? Oh, I do. Okay. Oh, not the thing. That was bad. Right, goodbye later, mate. See ya. Ah! Back off, dry bones. Okay, because of my epic amazing texture, it doesn't actually quite line up where I need to shoot it. Oh. Congratulations, you played yourself. Oh, amazing. Okay. Ah. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, can I go? Thank you. Oh, fuck. This is a problem. Ow. Ow. I may have walked into that. Okay. We're good. We are so back. Forest Dweller sword, nice. Great, thanks. Appreciate that. Where's the difficult thing here? Okay. And then is there another one? Kind of expected that there might be another one. Oh, you probably can't see it. I just did a Mimi. I've spent the last year of my life taking the piss out of Mimi for doing that. No, it's just... I really hope she's not still lurking. Mimi, if you're here right now, no you're not. We shall never speak of this again. Right. I don't think I have to... I don't think the enemies respawn. I think now it's a bit of a walk in the park that I can just like zoom through. Oh, okay, you're still there then. No. 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 Thank you. Right, this time you're going. Oh shit! Ooh, let me run away. Thank you. Wait, where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? Okay. Yo, if you couldn't already tell, I'm so calm. You wouldn't believe it. That a no, that's just a tree branch. That is in fact not a Korok. Right. Fucking get out of there, Zelda. Ah! Okay, that's a problem. Let's go not that way. Yay, I made it. First try. Go! Oh, hello. Congratulations, you've passed the test of wood. Well done, Princess Lady. Happiness awaits you at the shrine. Can I go there? Oh, I don't know. Ever want to play it again, just let me know. Well done, guys. We got through it without making a single boner joke. I'm real proud of us. Okay. So this should just be a blessing shrine, which I don't think I've had on this playthrough yet, actually. I don't think I've done this before. Ooh, nice. Da na 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 na. Okay, if I just go out of bounds, where am I going to end up? Good. That's basically where I wanted to be. Okay, I think we're about to embark on the worst Korok trial. But that's okay. Ooh. Going alone? I don't know. Oh, you're Miss Princess, right? You're going to do the Korok trial, yes, yes? Sure. I knew it. I'd like to ask a favour then. My little Oki just set off to do the Korok trial. Normally I'd go along too, but Oki insisted on going alone. I let Oki go, but, well, I'm just worried. Could you please follow Oki without being seen? I want to be sure nothing bad happens. I hate this one. It's one of the worst things I've ever done. I've got to follow a slow-ass Korok without said slow-ass Korok seeing me. Wait, did you see me or someone else? I don't know. Everything's A-okay. He's kind of zooming, actually. He's not going that slow. I remember this tree. Okay, I'm quite close to him, to be fair. Could let him go on a bit ahead. Oh, I don't have my stealth. I could, if I had it, I could wear stealth armor. But I don't have it. This is the right way. Are you sure about that? This is the best video game I've ever played, by the way. Just so you'll know. Ooh. Wait, no, don't go over and have a look. Are they? Oh, just branches, right. Ooh, pretty flowers. Halfway there. Really? Only halfway? I would go around the outside of this tree. I think it's easier. Oh, sorry. Is someone there? No. Ah, a ghost! Dude. Come on. Oh, it was just a shadow. Bestie, hurry along. This isn't so bad. I'm not scared one bit. Okay, I'm a little bit scared. Oh, this is long. I think you can wind bomb it at like a very specific angle, but I don't know said angle. Oh, I'm not losing this shit now. Am I a stalker? Is that what's happening here? I think it might be. There's the shrine. Oh my god. There you go. There's the shrine. Hey! Whoa there! You Googled my address as well, okay? Oh, that's quite cute. Yay! I made it! I finished the trial! What? Who's there? Hey, are you that princess girl? You know, Miss Princess? Guess what, Miss Princess? I did the trial all by myself. Aren't I brave? Don't you suss me. Oh yeah, you're probably here for the shrine. Great Deku Tree said that the monk's blessing is waiting in the shrine ahead. Why don't you go take a look? Right, Berry, shut your face, okay? Shush. Excuse me, that shrine's just very long. So, give me one sec. Oh my god. I've just discovered where Blair is. Blair is in the centre of town. Poor Blair. I'm sorry for their loss. Wait, so last time I got a giant ancient core, this time it's just an ancient core. Why can I move this? Why can I do that? Zelda discovered free will. Anyway. Blair, go home. I know, right? All I'll say that there's potential for another I'm drunk to happen later tonight by the looks of it. Vic, hello. Hello, lovely. Just on your days you'll be lurking or you shower and stuff. I hope you had a good day. I did. I had a good day. I hope... Oh, I hope you had a good sleep. That's what I hope for you. I hope you had a good sleep, friend. And yeah, I hope you have a good day. I feel like I've chatted to you a lot, but I still want to chat to you more. So, yeah. Yeah. No, I hope you're doing well, and we'll chat soon. But thank you for stopping in, and thank you for lurking. I appreciate it so much. Sorry, I'm just replying to Blair, and I can't think of what to actually say. You had a good deep sleep. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Love to chat more so soon. Absolutely, friend. Absolutely. We should do more voice calls. I don't mean like today, like, oh my god, you take your time. But I would like to do more of that because our last one was fun. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I want to do more of them. Okay. Let me just get thingied. Why am I not getting thingied? Here we go. And then I'll go do the other one. Oh, hello. I'm all grown up now. Don't care. Yes, I'm so down on even about our days and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like, we don't have to find things to talk about. We can just, like, yap. Absolutely, we can just do that. For sure, yeah. Oh, Vic, because I know it's like your favourite film. Me and Barry are going to go watch The Wild Robot at some point next week. I'm making this happen. Because I'm obsessed with the film, I won't lie, but you know. This is fine, right? It's only a kid's film. Are you running through all Breath of the Wild or having fun with this save? I'm basically having fun. I was like, I'm gonna get all the shrines. I don't think I'm gonna get all the Koroks. But I'm just like, yeah, I'm having fun. There are some silly, goofy mods. I don't know if you saw the Master Sword, actually. There's a lot of silly, goofy mods, basically. But yeah. Yeah. Well, Robert, literally so good. Brandon and I plan to go to the movies tonight and nothing else interests that you want to watch again. Oh, I love that for you. I love that. I mean, if you do go and watch it, that would be so good. You know, if you want to put yourself in that emotional state. Yeah, for those of you that aren't on Vic's Twitter, Vic was devastated by Wild Robot. In a good way. But yeah, no, I love the film. I love it so much. I want to get, it doesn't exist yet, but I want someone to make a really good animated wallpaper from the Wild Robot. I need it to be a thing. And if no one else makes it, I'm going to make one. Like, I'm off tomorrow. I might sit down and make one. But oh my god. It's going to become my personality. It's going to. It is. It's so good. Hello. Hello. Do I actually have to climb up there? This way to the trial. A Hylian seeks to attempt the Korok trial? Is that even allowed? Who cares? That'd be amazing. The movie's so stunning. I like the visuals and the score and of the story, the message. I feel like the film was so like targeted at me. You know what I mean? Like the animation was so good, but like the messaging and the themes, yes. I feel like it was a very me movie for sure. Yeah. Okay. Are you here to attempt my Korok trial? Of course. Wow, you really want to try it? I guess it was worth asking after all. Let me tell you about the trial. All you need to do is keep going and not get lost in the mist. Easy, right? What's wrong? You don't look very excited. Feel like it had snow vibes. Oh, that's like, I'm taking that as like the biggest compliment. Oh my god. But yeah, no, I feel like it had me vibes. I remember I watched the trailer in the cinema like months ago actually. And had never heard of it. I just saw the trailer for it and I was like, oh. And it was like the first one as well with almost no dialogue. And I was like, oh, that seems very me. And now it's out and I'm like, yeah, watching it so much. Yeah. When you saw it, you said it, I haven't seen it, I think you really love it. Yeah. No, I really did. I really, truly did. Yeah. No, I love films like that. Don't worry, I've got a cryptic little hint for you. The hungry trees will show you the way. Spy their iron to win the day. Oh, I remember. Yeah. There we go. That's what I'm doing. I need to go to the trees with iron balls in their mouths. Once it's probably out of cinema, we can watch it on Discord. Yes. Yes, it's happening and you're all invited. Where's the next one? Hello? Over there. I'm sorry, yes, I did say iron balls in their mouths. I'm sorry. Fuck you. Fuck you. Ah. Correct. Where am I going now? Over there. I'm sorry. Oh, then there's another, like, riddle thing, isn't there? I need to put the shield in there, don't I? I think is what I need to do. Nice! I'm not going to speak for Vic. You did mention that's where you were going at the start of Vic's stream, yes. Feed me the age shield guarded by monsters eternal. My brother will repay you in kind. Nom. Fun. Love that for me. So what? What? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, I need to put the chest in its mouth. I remember, that's what I need to do. This is just water, right? I can just swim this instead. Yeah. Whee! That trial's not bad. I don't mind that one. It's just the fetch quest that's like, ugh. Ugh. Ooh, what games did you... Well, were they video games? Or were they, like, party games that I will never have heard of because I don't go to parties? I'm so mature, you guys. I'm so mature. But like, if that first "my" was replaced with a different word, I'd be having the time of my life. Okay. Right. Oh, hi, Mimi. Hello there. Nice to see you. Barry, I said what I said. Okay, don't like make me say it again. Don't make me say it again. But yeah, hi though, Mimi. I hope you're still doing well. Barry, you have my address now. Sorry. Okay. Shrine time, everybody. Shrine time. Oh, you played more on painting your nails. Ooh, what? I mean, it may be a professional color, but you know, I hope you're enjoying painting your nails. What color are you doing? Why is the worst trial got the smallest reward for it? That's dumb. It's a professional color. That's so okay though. I love that for you. She a nude pic, nice. We do love that. Played a board game you probably have never heard of. Then we played some drinking games, nice, that I definitely won't have heard of. But yes, nice though. I hope you enjoyed. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed. But yeah. Oh, I had like the best nails interaction yesterday with a customer. That like it was a husband and wife, and I just like served them, and it was totally like, you know, totally normal. And they left, and as they were like walking off, the wife like turned back around and was like, and I was like, oh, it's so cute, thank you, thank you. It was really nice. It was really cute. Oh, I know, right? It was so cute. Yeah. But yeah, though, Mimi, with your job, you've so got this. You're gonna do well. You're already doing so well. Like, you're going to do so well, but you're already doing so well. Okay. I'm glad we did the Korok trials. Because it's a whole free heart piece. Because, Mimi and Vic, if you didn't see already, once I get the... I think it's 40 shrines you need. Once I get the 40 shrines and I get enough heart pieces, we're going to get the Master Sword. I'm real excited. Okay. If you didn't already know the system, you'd be screwed. I'm sure, like, you were, like, a really good hire for them. Like, you know, yeah, to somebody that knows the everything. That's just really good. Hey, are you the princess? Could it be? Welcome to Korok Forest. You're much, much prettier looking than I thought you'd be. Me, that's all of you. That's all of you, okay? And to be sure you're up to the task at hand, I prepared a trial for you. For Mr. Hero, actually. Anyway, do you accept my trial? Hooray! Show me a rod with the power of ice, please. You could wave this rod to freeze monsters in their tracks. Ice wizroads love to wreak havoc with them. If Miss Princess were to wield a rod with the power of ice, she would be even prettier and more powerful. Okay, sure. You've had to assign trainers to yourself and take everything into your own hands. That's fair, though. That's fair. Yes, please. Heart container. Yay! Right, let's get out of here. Let's leave this gaff. Okay, there's an English version of the board game. It's called Bunny Hop. Basically, you draw a card, move the pawn. If you draw a carrot, you have to turn a carrot in the middle to reveal holes. No, I don't know that game. I mean, it sounds good, but no, I don't know it. I'm afraid. Sounds interesting, yeah, for sure. Right, have I got a little quest for... Where is it? The Korok mask. Right, okay. The treasure chest containing the Korok mask is hidden in a hollow of a terrifying tree in a forest that causes those that enter it to lose their way. Wait. What, huh? It also seems there's a convenient way to search for it. Okay. Right, let's go back to the start. Also, Blair has just texted me. Oh, Blair's texted me to say my mobile data is being shite. Blair has literally texted me, by the way. I should just clarify. Blair has literally texted me to say my data's being shite. Say hi to stream for me. Oh. That's cute. That's very cute. Okay. So I actually do want to go this way. Now, I think the Korok mask is like down here. I think it's about here-ish. So I'm going to go and try and find it. We're fine. We're so okay. I wonder if I can wind bomb my way to victory. This very well might not work. Oh, definitely not. I've gone a bit far. Oh, I might be good. Yes! Feckin' smashed it, mate. Love that for me. Na 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 na. Okay, I was a little bit off with where it was. But that's okay. Okay, fine. That really doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. Oh. Alright, fine. I'll go back then. The long way around. Putting on a second coat. Oh, you must be cold. Please unfollow me. It's okay, I promise. I promise it's okay. Okay. So now we're gonna unmod yourself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, forgive me. Now we are gonna head back towards Atena village. Now that we've had that little Korok interlude. Also, where's the next memory? Okay, it's there. That's fine. We can go that way-ish. Oh, dear. Yes! Let's go on an adventure. You're really fucking slow. Sorry. This feels a bit cruel, you know, because it's like really slow. Oh, okay, we have to keep doing it. Wait, I didn't do that, didn't I? I could have gone to those, I think, from the top of the tower. Oh, well. You know what, fine, let's do it. I'm really, in this playthrough, avoiding teleporting wherever possible. But, like, when it's just long, you know, when it's just a long day to climb back up there, I'll teleport. And I should be able to reach... Where are they? Where did they just go? Huh? Am I crazy, or were they, like, over here? Is this gaslighting? Where has it gone? Huh? There were floating platforms. Like over yonder. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Okay. They were literally out of range. See ya. Okay. Yippee! Yeah, I've already got a Forest Dweller sword, thanks though. Nice. Right, take me to the stable. Let's go. My nose is itchy as well. Wait, I've not been inside this stable, have I? I've not talked to the locals to get any side quests. Right. Please would you consider giving the energetic rhino beetle to Beetle? If you're on the fence, I've got just the thing, a fairy tonic. Just heat up a little bit of fairy dust and bam, you've got yourself something really special. No. Really? But it's such a good deal, and that beetle really wants to be with me. I just don't understand your thought process here. Maybe I'll sneak into her inventory and replace it with a common beetle when she's not looking. She won't know the difference. Wow. Wow, beetle. No, I'll hire someone to do it for me. No need to get my hands dirty. Oh, you're still here. I thought you left. Well, let me know if you change your mind. Anyway, back to business. What are you looking for? What have you got? Sure. The Satori. I love that name. That's so cute. But yes, hi though. I hope you're doing well. We're just playing some Zelda. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sort of running around. But I hope you're doing well, and thank you for stopping in, of course. Look what I've got. What do I want to sell? See, I don't know what I need. I don't have my Twinkly Tour spreadsheets. Best way to play Zelda, honestly, isn't it, though? Isn't it? Because I don't have my spreadsheets. I don't know what, like, I need to keep and what I need to sell, really. I'll leave everything for now. I'm not that short of money. Right. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to go to Kakariko. That's what I need to do. Kakariko to get the Champion's Tunic. Take a horse, please. Yes, please. Okay. Thanks for choosing us for all your horsey needs. When a horse gets spooked or doesn't like where it's at, it might refuse to move. Yeah, I know. This isn't my first time with this game. I'm aware. There's not a shrine just like over there, is there? There's no shrine in there. No, there isn't. There's something in there, but it's not a shrine. Sorry, I just like remembered that there was something there. Okay, I don't fully have a plan on where to go. I'm still kind of looking for a Hinox. And I know in Tears of the Kingdom there's one... Sorry, that was my bad. I know there's a Hinox just here. Okay. Right, where am I going? Where do I want to go? Let's go this way. Yeah. Ah, get wrecked, idiot. Oh. They can swim, can't they? Because it's a Lizalfos. Blair, get off Instagram and get in the stream. Ooh. Mighty Lionel bow, sick. Right, what was in that chest? Oh, wrong thing. There you go. I'm just getting all the bows right now. What should I get rid of? That one. That was worth doing. Nice. Okay. And then, please hold while I do this. That's going to need a Cryonis block, isn't it? Looking at it. That's going to need a block. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, shit. That was my fault. I pressed the wrong thing. Am I going anywhere? Not really, am I? Hear me out. If I don't make it and I just drown, I am going to spawn on top of the bridge. Okay. I'm sorry, Zelda, but that was probably a better use of my time. Okay. First proper try. Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay. Sick. What's that? Oh. It's the... Definitely not a mod that I have installed. Okay. So, somewhere in here there is also a shrine. But I forget which big tree stump it's in. Let's go and have an investigate. Ah! An electric Goomba. No. No, please. Oh, okay. Nailed it. Right, is there anything in here that I need? No. Look at him go. Oh, is it up there or something? Oh, it's up in, like, it's got to be in that one, right? It's got to be in the biggest one. No, get out my life. Thank you. Ah. Dude really wants me. Also, what's targeted? What's that? Oh, the hero's sword. Okay. Right, there is a shrine inside one of these. Also, that's an ice rod that I need for that Korok seed quest. Or Korok seed Korok quest. I'll try and remember to get that next time. No, when I next go to Korok Forest. Which won't be today. Yay! I knew there was one here. Les says yay to your hello berry. Nice. Oh, this is worrying. Oh, no, please. No, please. I'll take a modest test of strength. Oh, I told Blair that you said hello. In response, yeah. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Whee! Oh, yay. Right. I don't really think my Forest Dweller sword is gonna come in clutch here. That's done nothing. Right. Big weapon time. Edge of duality, let's go. You guys are funny. They do my head in, and on master mode, they've got more health. So it's like, it's a really long day. Oh, halfway. Okay, no, we're fine. We're so okay. This is fine. Oh, you're doing that. Okay. Oh, please, the new thing lag. Oh, huge. Okay. I'm just going to finish it off with the edge duality, I think. You're so done. Goodbye. Get wrecked. Well, I need to take photos of these, don't I, for some crazy guardian lady on the beach. Okay, that's rubbish. That's better. Absolutely wrecked, though. Zelda can't clear this room without running out of stamina, but get wrecked, Guardian. What do I get? Ooh. I would kind of take a frost spear, to be honest. Get rid of that one. Yay, I have hot and cold weapons now. This is good. Da na 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 na. And we did our first test of strength. That's huge. Right, where's my horse? My horse is over that way. Sit down. Don't see me. No, there's no Korok there. Cool. Nope, leave me alone. Where's that? Where is that? I don't know. Oh, that's a stable. Yeah, I know what that is. And there is my horse. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry, you can't see the minimap. Yeah, Blair's on a night out, confirmed. I say confirmed because she just texted me the words night out, maybe. So I think if Blair had data, then we would be getting a drunk Blair. Drunk, maybe, exactly. That looks suspiciously like a Korok puzzle. I don't think it is. Is there anything in here? What is this? I think there's a bear in here, isn't there? What is this place? Oh, there's two bears. Oh, okay. You leave me alone. I don't... I'm chill with bears. Shit data stealing drunk Blair from us. I mean, she's probably also somewhere that's very busy and loud, so... I wouldn't necessarily expect her to be... What? That looks suspicious. For them to be placed like that. Yeah, no, wouldn't necessarily expect her to be on a phone. Because no thanks. Yo, it's weird now playing Breath of the Wild, seeing Kakariko without all of the ruins on top of it. Oh, hello. Hi. Okay, we're going to go to the stable and we're going to go and do the shrine. Cass! Cass is here! Jabs. Okay. Oh? Excuse me. Right, okay. Shields from water. I don't know what to make of that shrine name. That's a bit weird. Oh, hello. When you go to reply to Blair and use the word drunk, but you accidentally spell it correctly instead of wrong. Sad times. Bah! Bah! Thank you. Go away. Nice one. Honestly, the word drunk just shouldn't exist anymore. There's no need for it. It's been replaced by a better word. Right, I think you're supposed to wait for the ramp, aren't you? Yeah. Which is why the shrine's called what it's called. Go away. Go away. Go away. Waiting patiently for a new Wordle. Imagine if the Wordle for the day was drunk. Like, not spelt wrong, but like actually spelt right. Ow. Oh, come on. Right. Weapon, go away. Oh, nice job. Big brain. Got my longest streak going right now. Ooh, what is your streak, may I ask? I think I fucked up. Friends, I've fucked up. I made a mistake. This is very embarrassing. Well, it can't be more embarrassing than your 800-day Snapchat streak, Barry. Oh, I saved it. I saved it. It's 18. Oh, I'm so proud of you. 18 whole days. Very impressive. You forget all the time, that's fair. I used to do it, and it was like, I had a fun time with it, but I did kind of lose interest. 1000-day Duolingo streak tomorrow. Oh, that's so good. Is it Japanese? Is it Japanese? I'm going to take a guess that you're Japanese. But that's very good. Yeah, okay, cool. Thought so. But yeah, no, that's very good, Paul. 1000 days. Congratulations. I know it's not till tomorrow, but like, congratulations, that's huge. Okay. You know, snap streak is 802. 812. Numbers, please. Yeah, fun. Does this dude want me to just get that chest out of the water? Is that all you want from me? What should I do? I'm terrified of deep water. Hmm? Oh, I'm sorry, I was lost in thought. Can't believe I'm about to share this with you, but I'm absolutely stumped. Have you seen that strange shape down at the bottom of the river? It's hard to make out, but I'm pretty sure it's a treasure chest. They're giving me anxiety. I can't figure out how to fish it out of there. I guess I need some kind of machine or something to get it out. I'm so curious about what's inside the chest, I can't even sleep. What, you mean this chest? This chest right here. Did you say what the heck? Oh, the treasure chest. Incredible. I can't believe you managed to get the treasure chest out of there. What the heck, I know. Hurry up and open it already. Okay, it's a questionable sword, fine. 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 Let me drop the exact duplicate weapon I just got. Questionable sword, yeah. I don't know what kind of wizardry you use, but that's incredible. Treasure chest, what was inside it? It was a sword. What? A cool sword, you say? Whatever, I didn't really want that life-changing treasure anyway. Well, at least I can relax now I know what was inside it. Thanks. Cool, love that for you. But yes, questionable sword. No, I'm not talking to you. Oh, I suddenly recognise this place from a Twinkly Tor Twitch clip. Oh, a skeleton horse died up here. Right, so there is a shrine just over there that I can do. And there's also Kakariko Village. What the hell? Oh, you're a Yiga, aren't you? This dude is so eager. Right. Is my voice doing okay? It is. It actually is, you know. I appreciate you asking. But yeah, no, it's actually alright. Good, thanks. Can I do the funny thing that like everyone does on clips? Oh, I couldn't. I couldn't talk to him in time. Oh, that's a bit sad, isn't it? Oh well. Let's do it again. You can't avoid us forever. Will you join the Yiga clan? A powerful, grave group of warriors founded by Master Koga and dedicated to defeating a princess long thought dead. That will take your life. That really wasn't very exciting, was it? Oh, that was exciting though. Get wrecked, you little nerd. Okay. Because it's been 2 hours, so I thought I'd check in. Thanks. Yeah, no, it actually is. It has been all right though. Like there were days this week where, I like got out of work and I was like, oh no. So that's why I didn't want to like announce it. Wait, Barry, you don't know this. You don't know this lore from this past week. Oh, I don't even need to get up. This is perfect. Of what I've had in my pocket all week at work. Fruit pastels! Literally to get me through the day, I've just been a little fruit pastel machine. Of course, the strawberry and blackcurrant only packs because I'm not an animal. Fuck. I'm not an animal. Actually a fruit pastel goblin, truly. Truly goblin the fruit pastels. The best flavours, of course. Only the best flavours. Well, I don't have a thing. I don't have a bow. Right. Bye. And then to get a pack of those. Oh, bestie, I will absolutely recommend this. They're so good. Oh, this tree's ideal. 1, 2. Oh, please get out my life. Please get out my life. Oh, no. Whee! Perfect. I've got no stamina. This is bad. Okay. But yeah, no, I absolutely recommend those. If you're ever ill, just get a pack of strawberry and blackcurrant fruit pastels. Because, oh my god. They've kept me alive this week. But yeah, anyway, sorry, circling back, genuinely feeling alright though. Like I've been doing better the last few days, and yeah, no, it's been fine. I didn't want to do Leighton today because like this shrine. Okay. I didn't want to do Leighton because I know that has like some silly voices as well. I wasn't sure if I could handle them today, but oh no. Whee! Okay. Leighton requires accents. Truly. Truly, it couldn't be a Leighton stream without accents. Oh, I need to bring the scoop, don't I? Scoop? I know the speedrun strat. I don't know how to do it, but I know the speedrun strat for this is that underneath there, I believe is just the way through, isn't it? And so if you like bomb Link in a very specific way, he just ragdolls under the water and sits perfectly under the gap. It's brilliant, but I don't know how to do it. I think you just like use a remote bomb and just like, yeah. It does sound brilliant. It's so good. Whee! Because then the water level goes down. Yeah, that little gap on the next to my webcam, you just like go under the water perfectly. It's brilliant. Oh, I haven't got a chest. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Yeah. No, I remember. Isn't it under there? It is. I think I've played this game too much, you know. That I haven't done this shrine in... Oh, Zora. In a very long time, and I'm just like, yep, I remember. It's a two-handed weapon. I'm gonna... Oh, I can't leave it, though. Wait, I should drop the... Thanks. Yes, the power of autism. Truly it is. See, I do like this sword, because it's really cool, but it's another two-handed weapon. You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, I wasn't expecting the autism jokes to come from an external source, but no, you're so good. Yo, I made an autism joke once to one of our co-workers, who I definitely very much do think has autism. I know, she loved it. She loved the joke. You had a power of autism moment the other day and immediately thought of me. Thanks. Thanks. I'm glad that when you think of autism, you just think of me. Just like, yes, I am the walking autism. Yes, yes. What was your power of autism moment? Post office Hannah. Oh yeah, because you know I remember everybody's staff payroll numbers. I remember everyone's payroll numbers. And Hannah was like, I don't know how you remember. Oh, I don't know how you can remember everyone's numbers. And I was like, thanks, it's the autism. And oh my god, she was creasing. She was so funny. I don't think I'm going to be able to move without these lads noticing me, am I? Fuck. Nearly. Oh, now this one is... Oh, I just want to wind bomb out of here, okay? Just let me go. Oh, you're so done, mate. You're so... Thanks. See ya. I was in work with your music on shuffle and... Oh, that's like every day for me. Sorry, not to flex my superior autism, Berry. Excuse you. Crikey. Yeah, no, I was scooting home literally today, and that happened. That there was a very I would not use the word somber, but like very still, calming note. There's like a at the start of a song, and I was like, Tetris effect connected. Yep, that's the song. It's the song, and it was. So love that for me. Right, the other one's over there. So if I go this way, maybe you won't see me. Really thought it was you, Core, with no Doctor Who episodes from Random Ass Screen Caps. Thanks. Yeah, no, that is quite me, Core, isn't it? Can you stop doing that? It's really rude of you. That shouldn't have worked. But yes, you are right. Kind of me, Core. Bye. See, if I knock down this tree, you're going to notice me, aren't you? Nope, unperturbed. Okay, perfect. The joystick fucked me. Fine, come on. That really shouldn't work. I shouldn't be able to hop twice and get the thing, but oh well. Hey, listen, okay, I moved the joystick in the right direction, and I let go of the joystick, and it, like, went boing, and snapped me forward, okay? So, shut up. Okay, I took my time that time, and we're okay. That was a bit of a slow launch, but okay. It'll do. And then where's my horse? Oh, over there. Is there a house, like, up there somewhere? I suddenly remembered. Anyway. Where is horse? Horse is... this way? Yeah, basically this way. Oh. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I left my horse far away. Right. We're getting off immediately. I just want the big radish. Anyway. Hi, horse. Hi, Shadowfax. I need to get back on watching Lord of the Rings. I'm like halfway through the second film and I've just not picked it up again. Right, according to my calculations, if I go up there, I will reach Kakariko Village. That's sus. Whee! See, it's one of those things you can't let yourself rewatch because I don't want to re-release the autism. Oh, like you don't want to get re-obsessed with Lord of the Rings? Is that what you mean, Berry? Yep, okay, got you. Okay, cool. Also, we do not have to have this chat on stream. I don't think it's ever come up in conversation of you and autism. Noted. Noted. This is so much more empty than in Tears of the Kingdom. Like, so much... Oh, hello. So much more empty. No, no, it has not. I don't think. Oh, your face is really small for your head. Did you play Lego Lord of the Rings? I do plan to eventually. Yeah, no, I would very much like that. No. Am I wrong? Like, on fucking Mii Maker on the Wii, he scaled all of his sliders as low as possible. Like, what is this? Brings a tear to my eye just thinking about the circumstances that brought me and my devoted donkey together. Getting deja vu. I've probably said that before, haven't I? Oh, you don't mind my wool gathering. I had no intention of boring you with my tale. It's probably not this guy, but yeah, no, I probably have. 07 Cambo. Say, I see you eyeballing the packs on my donkey. Want to see my goods? Fucking... For that comment, goodbye. No. I'm sure that's a perfectly valid question he's just asked. I'm just, like, making a thing out of it, but, you know. On a real level, I don't need any of those. Right. Whoa there, donkey. We've got a lady guest. That's weird. Bye. Okay, so I've been saying all stream, let's go to Hateno Village. We have so far not made it there. Who even... Oh. Wait, hang on, Barry, I can phrase it like this now. Can we watch Lord of the Rings and just, like, be autistic about it together? Can we do that, please? Sorry, I realise I've not got the opportunity to say that to somebody. Probably ever. Let's do that. Okay, Impa. Here, yes, yes, yes. The opportunity has arrived. But this is perfect. Let's go. Okay, Impa, give me new clothes. Oh, hi, Paya. Right. Now that you have seen some of your memories, you must have started to remember certain things. Here, I will hand this over to you now before I forget. Whee! Commander's travel shirt. In ancient Hyrule, this garment could only be worn by the princess and those who earned the respect of the royal family. Equipping it will reveal an enemy's life gauge. This is something I've been keeping safe since shortly after the calamity happened. You wore these clothes along with your champions. Please handle it with care, princess. Yes. Absolutely yes. I'm so happy right now. I'm never taking this off. Okay. Mistress Zelda. Is there anything the matter? Anything at all? Can I help you in any way? What's that ball? This priceless artifact. Is that what you want to know about? Wait, I know, right? Hasn't she just? This is a Sheikah heirloom that we have long protected. The heroes, as chosen by the Sheikah heirloom, will be gifted the blessing of antiquity. With these words as our guide, we have watched over the sacred artifact since my grandmother's grandmother's time. And since her grandmother's grandmother's time before that. I could not say I entirely know the meaning of the words, but now that I think about it, the hero as chosen by the Sheikah heirloom could be... Please... That was weird. Please don't hesitate to let me know if I can be of assistance. Good luck. Thanks. Okay, we have the fit now. Well, I still don't have the Hylian stuff, do I? The Hylian set. Wait, what happens when I get 120 shrines and I unlock the of the wild set? What does that look like? Right, I will also get some of these. Yep. Yay. I should really sell to Beetle, shouldn't I? Oh, that's so much. Right, fine. Let's sell to you. I want to sell. Let me sell these. Yay, I'm loaded now. Oh my god, I can take off my well-worn trousers fucking finally. That's a bit weird. I don't know about that. Okay, and the hood, please. Yep. Thank you. Okay, I'm still on the hunt for the perfect piece of armor then, clearly. Where is my horse? There. Oh, hello. Oh, it's you! Great timing. I have some news. I did more research on the Great Fairy and I have a lead. However, although I know the spot where it's likely located, it's really hard to get there. I'm not sure I can do it. Even if it's just a picture. I knew there was someone like me nearby who appreciates true beauty. Sadly, I can't pin down the exact location. Yeah, let's go. Right. I've already found the fairy fountain. Ah, she looks so good in the blue. Fairy, have you ever seen Vic cosplaying Zelda? It occurs to me you might not have. Because Vic wore this outfit once and it was so good. Don't think so. Oh my god. She's absolutely slayed. Right. Come on, Picango. It was very cute though. It was. It absolutely was. Look at dude, he's got pace. He's a machine. Oh, bloopy, bloopy, bloopy. Nice, bloopy arse. Let's go. Is that better? Yeah, that's it. So tired. Hills aren't easy for old fogies like me. Sorry, I don't think I can go on. The Great Fairy Fountain should be along the path that leads past the shrine. That's what I've been told. Yeah, I'm completely out of breath. That always happens right about here. I'd better rest for a bit. You go on ahead. If you find it, don't forget to get a picture. While I'm here, I might as well do some costume upgrades. Costume? Outfit upgrades. Whee! Oh shit. That scared one off. Okay, nice. Ooh. Ah, welcome back, girl. Do you want me to enhance your clothing? The power available to me, I should be able to enhance it a little bit. Oh, yes, please. Enhance that. Yes, please. Oh. Oh, took a second. Yippee. Da na 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 na. Right, where are the fairies in this game? There's one in Akala. There's this one. Oh yeah, yeah. There's one. There's one by the canyon. Where's the last one? Oh, in Gerudo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Set bonuses. Yeah. Yep. Oh, easy. Bokoblin horns. Go for it. Yes, please. Oh, that's going to be a pain if I don't go to Gerudo for ages. Oh, no. Okay. Then I won't be able to upgrade my stuff. Okay, now I'm not going to die to Lizalfos like I did earlier. Wait, can I do the climbing thing as well? Oh, I can. Oh, huge. Okay. Let's do it. Yay. Bye. Okay. Fine. Let's go and talk to Pikango. Wait, Barry, not to hit you with this with no prior warning, but go to bed. I've just realised what time it is. Go to bed. Oh yeah, are you do you have to go into work tomorrow, do you know? Do you know what's happening with that yet? Yes, I found it. You found it? Really? Are you serious right now? And if you are, then where's the picture? You remember to bring the picture, right? This is the Great Fairy Fountain? Nothing got said, you can no assume Claire will just do it alone. Is Claire the one that gets in really early? Like the school run one, is that Claire? It's certainly beautiful, but I thought it would be more sacred, elegant. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm impressed you found it. I want to give you something to show my appreciation, but I don't have anything on me. I know! Is there a place that you've been seeking? So I might be able to help you find it. Oh, I don't want to do this. Okay. It's 7:40 PM, you're just about to go to work. Oh, no. Oh, that, yeah, no, that sucks. And I assume then you do night shifts, or you have my sympathies. One of my other friends does night shifts, and oh yeah, no, it's rough out there. Stuck on nights. But I do appreciate you being here still. Thank you. Just really want to sleep in. Truly earned one after 6 days of work in a row. You're in the medical field. Ah, okay, yeah. Got you. Whee, okay. Right, I am getting to Thingy before I finish. To Hateno Village. Before I finish stream for the night. We are doing this. Sorry, yeah, I didn't give further context to that. As I'm sure you've guessed by now, I'm in the UK. And so's Berry. So, yeah, no, we're in the same time zone. And it's nearly midnight here. I figured, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm aware I am overwhelmingly British. Yeah, and eat your stream. Berry, go to bed. Okay, I promise it's okay if you go to sleep. I will... Oh, there you go. There's you. Overwhelmingly British. I truly am. There you go. We're ready for the Berry dialogue. I'm up past my bedtime. It's you. It is truly you. Okay, go to Eep. You lovingly, you fool, go to sleep. It's okay. I'll survive. No. I appreciate it, of course, so much, but also I want the best for you, and if that's going to sleep, then go sleep. You try to go to bed at 11:30 most nights, yeah. Yeah, no. No, you actually are past your bedtime. But it's your day off tomorrow, so you do actually, in fact, get a lie-in. And the other side of that is going to sleep late. Yippee! Yippee indeed. Oh yeah, Berry, did Don Paulo thank you for you doing all the big jobs yesterday? Because he came over to me like while you were still in, whilst you were on the tills. No, right. He came over to me whilst you were still in the store, and was like, "Oh, thanks for doing all of the oh, he asked me about some of the skips yesterday. He was like, so are these all done? So I said, yeah. He said, thanks for doing them. I said, oh no, it was Berry that did everything. She was yeah, no, she did the ball. And he was like, oh, so was Berry upstairs, or were you upstairs? And I was like, no, I did the tills downstairs, Berry was upstairs. He was like, oh, very good. I was gonna say thanks, it was so nice to come in and have it all be tidy and everything. And I was like, nope, that was all Berry. That was all Berry. But no, I wasn't sure if he'd say something to you. But he does know that he's actually slept on a good co-worker. So, yes, you've got brownie points now. 24 skips a shite later, I know. I think he meant, like, the actual store. Like, because he asked me on Thursday, like, weirdly. You know when he says, like, weird things? He was like, oh, go around and make sure everything's, you know, pulled forward and all gaps are filled and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I definitely did that. Yeah. But that kind of proves that it's all a little bit in Don Paulo's perfectionist head, because I didn't do that, and I'm sure you didn't do that because you had your jobs to do. But, yeah. Of course, I had to get you them brownie points. Anything to get you off the tills even a little bit. Because, oh my god. What's down here? Oh, I know where that is. Yep. I know where I am. Oh, someone's dead. Okay, well. I'm not the hero of Hyrule, I'm the princess. So, goodbye. He didn't give any specifics, but he said on Thursday, when he was, like, giving me all of my little side quests to do, he did say make sure everything's pulled forwards. And so then on today, when he said it was nice to come and everything was done and tidy, I think that's kind of what he meant. Even though I didn't do that. Unless you did actually go around and do everything. In which case, absolute slay. He's so funny, isn't he? Right, I want to find colour. Yes. Hugh do you do? Funny. Welcome to Kochi Dye Shop, where we live to die. Oh, you did? Oh, slay, love that. That must be the one section he checked then. Probably not what he's on about. I reckon it might have been, you know, because he was like, he said that it looked good upstairs. So, yeah. Right, let me see what colours are available, because this is kind of not working for me. No. Definitely not. Definitely not. Not really. Yeah. No. That's kind of interesting. Proving yourself. Truly. No. No. I love purple, but I'm not sure about the green, to be honest. No. 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 Oh. Oh, that changes things, yeah. I'll have that style. That's nice. I like the hair. Quite a shout. Yeah, I'm having that. Oh, what colour do I need? Oh, okay. Sure, you can have 5 screws. Let's go. Hold on to your skirts. Ugh, don't say that. I think this is going to lag a little bit, but oh well. Oh, not bad. Okay. Absolutely chromatic. And how is it? Did you find this palatable? If you'd like to do a read, just let me know. Okay, so what does this look like when I swap certain parts? Like, if I put that back on. Oh, that's huge. That's exactly what I want. Yes. That's my hero of Hyrule. I kind of don't like the front piece. What's on the back? Yeah. I like the hair. A lot. That's 4 + 4, 8. Nice. Oh my god. Sorry. Yeah. No, that's I approve of this message. Yeah, no, that's nice. What's the I could roll with this for a bit. Yeah. I'm not sure about the front thing. But I can make this work for a bit. Wait, where is the armor shop here? Because doesn't this have the like suit of armor? What does that look like? Okay. It looks basically as you'd expect. And it's fucking spenny as well. Okay. Okay. Maybe another time. Oh, don't you want me to spy on somebody? Checking everyone out today too. The check-in just never stops. Oh, this is Mimi, truly. Ever stayed at the... What a beauty. Hey, lady, listen. Wait. Oh, no, something's just unlocked. Isn't there the guy in Gerudo that gives you the sand boots and the snow boots? Isn't he really creepy towards, like, literally any female character in the game? I bet they've rewritten his dialogue and it's going to be fucked, whatever they've done. Oh, dear. Hey, lady, listen. Would you maybe want to go out with me? Yeah, I thought so. All right, listen, I have a proposal for you then. Whoa, slow down there. You see, I'm supposed to check out everyone who comes into town. sounds weird. I'm picking that one, of course. Your job is weird. Whatever it is you do. I know things have been peaceful recently, but the outside world is still pretty dangerous, yeah? Hi, Mimi, hi. No, literally though, Mimi, literally, the hotel dialogue has unlocked. I gotta check and make sure any beauties, I mean suspicious folks have come round here. Hi, Mimi, hi. Look who's asking. Anyway, if you ever stayed at the Tonpu Inn, you'll know about Prima. I was wondering if you could go and ask her what she likes. Been lurking, of course, bestie, you're so good. Obviously, I can't leave my spot right now. I just have to give her something. What kind of gift do you think Prima at the Tonpu Inn would want? Your brain's on cooldown after this week. That's so fair, bestie. Unless, of course, you'd be willing to go out with... I'll go ask her. I'll go ask her. I'm sorry, Prima, to stick you with this guy, but, like, absolutely not. And it's not for me, you understand. It's for my buddy's friend. Incel bitch. Right, is this Prima? Yeah, she's nice. Yeah, cool, nice one. Miss, do you need something from me? What do you like? That's what the first dialogue is. You know what? You know what? I'm going to float in the sky. What do you like? Why is she asking? Maddie must have talked her into it. Oh no! I don't have the emote, but caught. Say, did that big guy ask for a favour? Let's say crickets. Let's just say I need 100 restless crickets. Ask if. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I clicked on you again. Okay. Caught in 4K, actually, though. They've actually been exposed. Sorry, I need to blow my nose. Give me one moment. Hello. How do I bring myself back? There I am. No, there I am. Yay. I've surgically removed snow from the stream. Surprise, I lived, bish. What is it, lady? Sorry, I should put myself back in the sky while I talk to this creepy guy. I know, this guy's so gross. Right, do you know Prima? That's Miss Prima to you. You ever been to the inn there? Miss Prima's the clerk over at the Tonpu Inn. Obviously, I can't do my spot right now. Just have to give her something. Anything else? Checking out. There's weird, suspicious folks out there, so you got to make sure everyone out. You got to check everyone out to make sure no one dangerous gets through. I'm volunteering my own time because it's an important service for the village. You look in the mirror, truly. Need anything else? Fine, I talked to her. What? Prima told you what she wants. Prima never even talks to me. Fucking wonder why. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. So, what was it? Prima wants restless crickets? 100 of them? Ha! What a small world. I love restless crickets. I'm a connoisseur of them. Oh no, girlie, this backfired on you. I'm so sorry. I think that's what the word means. But catching 100 of them is tough. Think you'd help get me started on those? How about you get me 10 of them? I'll get you something nice for your trouble. How many do I have? 1. Okay, well, I'm not doing that. I arguably may never do that on this save because you're gross. But okay, goodbye. You don't support Cuban. No, we do not. Manny be gone. Truly, Manny be gone. Yeet. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was thinking about something then, but no, it wouldn't work. Okay. Another thing we could do at some stage would be Eventide Island, which is not actually on the map right now. Because the only reason that I'd consider doing that right now is because once you have Eventide Island and once you have a travel medallion, you can get infinite arrows, which will just make my life so much easier. Been neglecting skincare, so you put a ton of moisturizer on your face. I'm sure it's fucking hell. What is that word? Have I become stupid? Cumulative? Cumulative? Cumulative. It's got to be cumulative, right? Cumulative, yeah. Cumulative. Cumulative, that sounds better. In English. I'm sorry, Mimi. I can't help you. Cumulative, yeah. Okay. I'm sure it's cumulative. Like, if you just, put all of it on your face now, it'll, undo everything that you've neglected. I'm sure, yeah. That's how it works. Truly, it stacks. Barry, I've still not brushed my hair. Oh, I need to do that. From, fucking yesterday when I told you about it. 100 layers of lotion. Okay. Let's go. Ancient materials. Which rune do you want to power up? Remote bombs, please. 3 ancient shafts. Don't. Twitch chat, don't. 3 ancient shafts and an epic snap. Here I go. Snap. Shaft. Well done. Was expecting more enthusiasm, but whatever. Go brush hair. It's right here. Did you pin of shame yourself, Mimi? Did you actually pin of shame yourself? That's bold. Right, okay. Remote bomb upgrade. Guns unlock removed. Now let's do this thing. Mimi self-reported. Caught. I mean, Mimi is the, rip. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mimi. We need the quarterback. I should add it to BTTV. I really should. You're a menace, it's fine, okay. Yahoo! Little garden stone did the trick. Hee. Any other runes? Yes, please. Stasis, please. 3 ancient cores. Yes. Snap! Ooh, got it. This for the shafts. Nod, nod. Oh, you need help, all of you. Oh, wow. Get that. That is deservedly pin of shame. It really is. Okay then, stasis upgrade underway. Garden stone lock removed. Now, let's do this thing. No, Berry, you deserve that. You put the word menace for the shaft all in one Twitch chat message. I'm so sorry. fuck is that emote you've put in my Twitch chat? Okay, cool. Yay, I can now stop evil creatures. Yippee. Yeah, Mimi, do you like Zelda's new hair? I really like the hair. Yahoo! Yeah. Perhaps you went and powered them all up. She's so cute, isn't she? Suppose with your Sheikah Slate and legendary skills, we have nothing to fear. Not even Calamity Ganon. She got the strands out. Truly. Oh, it's really moving as well. It do be wiggling back and forth. Slay. I love it. Schmovin' indeed. Right, so, friends, we could... Why does Hebrew Mountain look like that? Not how I thought it would look. It do be wiggling back and forth. I can't believe you've done this. Wait, Mimi, this is absolutely very important. Did you see what Twinkly Tor did yesterday? And Berry, I was not. I was not. You did. Okay, good. I had to check because, oh my god. Everyone needs to know. Barkwad, yes. Yeah, no, Berry, I don't know what you're talking about, but I was not talking about that. It was literally so iconic. It was so good. Right, so, yes, anyway, we could, at this point, either just chatting, or I do believe there's a shrine somewhere over there, but I don't know exactly where it is. It's like at the back there. You had 0 NG yesterday. That's so fair. I mean, for some of the stream, you were even literally in work. So I don't, I don't blame you. What the fuck? Yeah, no, that's so fair that you couldn't be there yesterday. Not that I'm looking, but her toes look weird. Like, shiny. Huh. After work, I was like, fuck this, let's get endless pasta at the Olive Garden. Oh, that sounds so good. I love that for you. So deserved, though. So deserved. But it says, hey, okay, it was a bright, shiny object. Shush. Shush. All of you, shut up. Right, I really don't want to like Google where the shrine is, but it's such a mission to get it. The grippers, not the grippers. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. He won't get you every time. It's so memey. It's like, it's unbelievable. Right, good news, bad news. Good news, I've powered up the bombs. Bad news is, I've powered up the bombs and I use them to explode myself. Where'd that go? There. Love the emote so much. Truly, it's so good. Right. I think the shrine is here. According to my autism, I think it's there. So let's go that way. I love clear days in the snowy region. It's so pretty. Isn't it midnight? Tell that to Berry. Because we all know I stay up till 2 AM. Berry goes to bed at 11:30. Thank you. Go to bed.
Go to
sorry.
bed.
Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Sorry, I thought that had, like, become small. Let me just, rework it.
Go to bed.
Pretty perfect.
Go
Oh,
to
that's
bed.
spot on. I've smashed that. I'll do. Nailed it. Zelda craves the permanent sleep. Don't we all? Sorry. So true, isn't it? Ah! Not an Isla's Alphos. Oh, fuck's sake. Can I parry them? Get wrecked. Goodbye. Okay, anyway. I found the shrine. Now, why have I made the effort to come here, you may be wondering? This is why. Yes, please, climbing boots. What do they look like? Okay, short shorts, come through. With the pulled up socks, okay. Okay, I'm gonna recolor them. I'll be honest, I will recolor those. But slay. Now, where is the final one? The final piece of the set, I cannot remember. I want to say it's in Dueling Peaks. But I can't picture another shrine in Dueling Peaks. And I don't think it's just in a cave or something. Because if there's 4 shrines on Dueling Peaks, that's a bit much. World time. Ooh, go, go. Okay, because there's one there. There's one on this peak. There's one on this peak. And I was thinking it's like here. But that's a lot, isn't it? That's a bit much. Like, calm down. So, I don't know where it would be. Right, this is a really bit of a shit place to be in it. Okay, let's get out of here. Yo, I don't want to end the stream. I'm having a fun time. Can't you tell? Stop it, you. Steady on! Jesus! Do I have any... I don't have any full heal foods. Oh, I've made a catastrophic error. How much... Well, I want you to go to bed. Fuck you. Not you. I want to hang out forever. I do as well. I want to hang out forever. Oh shit. Let's all get a hype house. Right, let's get a mod mansion, but everyone's somehow invited. You better go in nowhere. I'll sleep when I sleep. Okay. And live happily ever after. Oh! Let's do that. That's so cute. Fuck! Yo, this is not working. That Lazalfa's just watching me like, you absolute idiot. What are you doing? Skill. Alright, you fucking do it then, okay? You do it, Mimi. I'm a Breath of the Wild expert. No, thank you. Okay, well, shut up then. Oh. Yeah, no, that one was my bad. There we go. Womp womp. This is fine. I can run on this surface at this angle. I love you. I love you too. I love you so much. I have to give you a hard time. It's part of the friendship contract. Okay. Okay. If you say so. I'm gonna run out of stamina. No, I love you and I love being your friend so much. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, bestie. Oh, I'm going over there and it's so far away. It's so far away. Being your friend is the bestest. No, you. Whoa, you can see the outline of the dragon. Whoa, that's so fucking cool. Okay. Well done. I'm so proud of you, bestie. I think the word was, I think the word was. What do I think the word was? Glass. I think the word was glass. That's what I think it was today. Was I right? I'm sure I was. I'm not going to check. That's how confident I am. What's that? Oh my god, it's a Korok puzzle. Honestly, it could be Booty. Don't send me all the way back down. Oh, I've lost it. I know where it is. Is it up there? Oh, it's up there. It did begin with B. Okay. See, you're cooking. Okay. It's going to be up at the very top. I know. I know how this works. Balls. I mean, the correct spelling of balls is also an option. Just so you know. That is the correct spelling, isn't it? Because like ball, like cry. That is the right... That's a word, right? There you go. There's another one for you, Berry. Do you reckon I can wind bomb off this Korok? No. No, you can't do that. That's not a thing. And the sweat dripped down my balls. I don't know to what you're referring, Mimi. But I assume you're referring to something because I don't imagine that's happened to you. Trust me, I'm stream. Damn, looking like Blair. Truly. Truly. No, I'm gonna die. Oh, ew, it's raining. Oh, I got another cricket for the perv. Let's go. It was a popular song in like 2007. Hey, I mean, I was Little Tiny Baby in 2007. Snow doesn't know get low. Is that what the song is? Yeah, okay. I don't think I know it. It's not... The shorty got low... No, that's Boots with the Fur. No. Oh, that's from that. Okay, I do know literally the single line from the window to the wall. That I do know. Literally the next line. From the window to the wall to the sweat drip down my balls. That's fucking... Your music's weird. 2007 was an absolute scene, clearly. Why am I going up there? I don't need to go back there. I might as well just go back to my fucking horse. It's so great. Middle school, you got down to that song. I mean, I'd not long started primary school back in 2007. I hate to break that to you. Barry might have literally started primary school in 2007. Maybe 2006. I forget. It's fine, you've accepted this. Good. Right, you know it's raining. I'm going to go to the hotel. I'm going to get a hotel room for the night. Because I can. Because I'm balling. There you go. Hello. Thanks for coming in the rain. Welcome to the Tonpuin. Regular bed, please. Very good. One regular bed. One guest. When would I like to wake up in the morning? Apparently it came out in 2002. Oof. Well. I'm sorry for your loss, Mimi. Good morning. You sleep well? Come back again soon. Okay, I'm going to save there. We're going to move into just yapping for a little bit, because, like, you know. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. That's, there's a slim window that Berry may have existed at that point. Yeah. No, I got you. Right. Let me save again. I've saved. I can see that I've saved. I'm ungaslightable about that. Sure. Let me close out of that then. I was 8, this is fine. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Right, what was the song? I forget. Get Low. Get Low. Release date. 2002. Just, months didn't exist that long ago. They hadn't been invented yet. Kings of Kronk. Oh, it was released in October 2002. Conflicting reports about the album's release date, with publications claiming it was the 8th, 22nd, or 29th. Interesting. Berry was potentially alive when that song came out. He was late, so he could have existed if he didn't decide to be too comfy and move to enter the world. I was late as well, actually. But I got a sick birthday. 10th of June, that's a solid birthday, that is. Such a good one. Imagine being born on, like, 1st of April or something. I don't know, that's so weird. You were early and rude as fuck. Actually, I wasn't rude as fuck to my mum. I was rude as fuck to myself. A trend that has continued to this day. Sorry. Yikes. Had on time. Okay, nice. Love that. Love that for you, though. Yeah. Oh, Mimi. Memers. You might have been in stream when I did this? I don't know, but I bought a new game. Last stream. I bought a new game. It was born on their anniversary, it's fine. Whose anniversary? I don't know to what you refer. Anyway. I bought the game. I bought... I'm so silly, come on. I bought the game. Laurely and the Laser Eyes. I'm so excited for this game. I'm so excited. Their 5th anniversary. Whose anniversary? I don't know who we're talking about here. Your parents? I don't know. I'm fully confused. But, oh, Laurely and the Laser Eyes. Like, oh my god, I need this in my life. I need this game. I was thinking, like, as I've said before on stream, should I, like, play all the Layton games and then play Laurely and the Laser Eyes? No. No. I think I've got one more stream of the current Professor Layton game. Then we're playing Laurely. I don't care. We're moving straight on to Laurely. Because, oh my god, this game. Oh, I've watched a trailer for this game and it's 53 seconds long, and I've watched it that many times that I know how long the trailer is. Like, oh, yes. Yes, please. Should we watch the trailer right now? Should we do that? Can we watch the trailer? Parents' anniversary and your birthday are a few days apart. Your dad's anniversary and your birthday are 5 days apart. Autisming live on stream once again. You're not wrong. Okay, you're not wrong. But yeah, no, love that though. That your parents' anniversary and your birthday are a few days apart. So, my birthday isn't too linked to anything, but I was born. No shit. In hospital, and then I came home from hospital on Father's Day in the UK. That was quite cute. Of course, I don't really remember it because I was 7 days old, but like, that's cute. I came home from the hospital on Father's Day. Oh, that's cute, isn't it? Cute. Love that for me. Oh, I'm sorry, the trailer's 56 seconds long. Autism's truly failed me. Oh, well. Okay, so this is the game that we're going to be playing. On your 20th birthday, your folks were like, fuck you, and went to Hawaii. Oh. No, my parents have only done that on their own birthdays. My parents have left me on their birthdays, but never on my own. Which, fair enough, you know, it's their birthday. Like, to be fair, they've said that to me. They've been like, you know, how would you feel? Would you mind if we went away on your dad's birthday? And I'm like, it's my dad's birthday. If he wants to go away, he absolutely can. That's so fine. Okay, trailer time. You saw that anniversary for your whole life. Did your parents get married / together on April Fool's Day? They were really cooking something with you, weren't they? They were like, okay, married on April Fool's. Did they walk down the aisle to like clown music? Like, what? What is this about? Okay, sorry, trailer. I'm so interested in this game. I'm so interested. I'm so invested in the game. Like, oh my god. The game looks trippy. It looks trippy, but it's proper puzzles. Like, lots of puzzles. The puzzles apparently are tough. The answers to the puzzles, any, like, mathematical puzzle, the answer is different for, like, you know, each person. There's, like... I assume not, like, necessarily, like, uses random numbers, but, like, if you've got to work something out, the numbers that you start with in the question will be different to other people, so you can't just, like, Google the answers, you've got to work it out. And it's like, oh, this is good. I'm going to go off to this game. Oh, I'm going to go off like you would not believe to this game. I'm so excited for it. But yeah, no, to just give some recap, that was shown in the middle of a Nintendo Direct. And you know, like, because I think it happens to all of us, where like you're watching the Nintendo Direct and like there's a lot of great games, but not really games that are for you, and you're like, okay, this is nice and all. And then that trailer happened and I was like, oh, okay, I'm taking note of this game. So, yeah, no, I'm very excited for it, and I want to play. It's only, as well, I downloaded it, like, yesterday. And let me find it. It's literally 1.1 gigabytes. It's only, like... It's only a small game, but not in terms of, like, runtime, because it's, like, a 30-hour game or something, but... It's, like, it doesn't need to be much. It's just like, oh, it's interesting. Oh, I'm so excited. I love the little hidden gems. Yeah, that's why I love Nintendo Directs. Like, they just, yeah, they draw my attention to games that I wouldn't otherwise have seen. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Also play through of Amnesia. Oh, I think you've mentioned this before, but I can't remember the game. Let me Steam this game. You said Steam, like, to Google it. Amnesia the Bunker? Amnesia Rebirth? I'm not seeing one that's just called Amnesia. Oh, it looks scary as fuck. Okay, goodbye. Nope. No. If that's the game, that does not go off. That does not look like my kind of game. Absolutely not. I'm all right, thanks. I'm okay. If that's the game that you are talking about. That's probably the one. Okay, if it looks scary, yeah. You watched Markiplier playthroughs? I have not. I've not watched that. What is on sale on my wishlist currently? Spider-Man, Stray. Oh, Hollow Knight's half off. Interesting. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed. Love that for me. Actually, love you some horror games. Really? Really? Interesting. Can't relate. I love horror games. Yeah, no, I know about you. I didn't know about Berry. But they scare you. I think that means it's working. You're a horror kid. I mean, I knew you were a FNAF kid. I did know that. Sorry, Breath of the Wild, but I need something more. Oh, yeah, give me that. The earliest memory with horror go back to, like, primary school. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, No Man's Sky, 60% off. Anyone that doesn't have No Man's Sky yet, you should get it. I'm doing the No Man's Sky expedition at the moment. I'm doing it in my own time. Not on stream this time, because it's like, it's quite a small one. But if you complete it, you get a new like custom ship, which does look a bit like the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. Like a bit like it. So I'll have that. Thank you very much. You did perceive that. Which No Man's Sky, because it's good. I mean, hey Barry, it's got multiplayer. I mean, I've been saying this to Mimi for like a year. Like, since I got back into No Man's Sky, I've been like, Mimi, let's play No Man's Sky. We can make a little base. We can. We absolutely can. You know, Steam is wild because I'm going through what's on sale at the moment, and it's like Amori, cool. Elder Scrolls 4, cool. Notia, not heard of it, okay. Sexbot, and I've like hovered over it, and I've just seen some tentacles. Okay, moving on. Steam is so wild. It's the Wild West out here on Steam. Some like, oh no, a game that looks like Stardew Valley, but it's for furries. Oh, okay. Yeah, Mimi's like, can you like send me the link? Can you send me the link? No, I can't do that, Mimi. Ah, Laurel and the Laser Eyes is on the Steam like sale list thing. Oh. I love seeing like my little games on the, maybe not quite the front page, but like, you know. You play that game on main, I ain't scared. I mean, hey, that's the sort of game that you'd have to close Discord for, otherwise Discord would pick it up and broadcast it to all of your friends. Which you probably don't care about, but I'm not doing that. You're truly not. Okay, I love that for you though. What was that game you played? The dating sim one. And they like asked you like on stream, on camera, like, so what are your preferences? And you were like, let me just go and be right back for a minute. I was like, was that one Colonel Sanders or was it a different one? No, I meant the other one. Because there wasn't the two. There was Colonel Sanders and then like a different one. Maybe it was Colonel Sanders, I don't know. Oh no, it was not Colonel Sanders. It was a different game. Definitely different. Colonel Sanders was somewhere else. It was like a matchmaking game more than anything. Yeah, that's the one. Kitty Powers Matchmaker. That's the one. You only played it once. I know, and I remember it. Oh yeah, for Valentine's Day. Oh, love that. What's Airport CEO? Oh, okay, I see. Cool. Oh, Celeste is on sale. I think everybody in the chat right now has Celeste already, but if you don't have Celeste, get Celeste. Barry, play Celeste. Barry, come round to mine and play Celeste. Oh, Barry, come round to mine and play Celeste on my TV. Thank you. Sorry, that idea had never entered my head before. Yeah, Barry, either stream or just come round to my house and stream just like directly for me in person. Thank you. At this point, I just moved into a flat for a whole week. Listen, that's not a no. There is space. Thank you. Sonic Colors is also... Sonic Colors got mixed reviews. Oh, I like Sonic Colors. Oh, Tetris Effect Connected's on sale. Ooh. It is. It's on 50% off. It's still 15.49 because Tetris Effect is an expensive game considering it's just Tetris. But yes, it's 50% off currently. It's $20, yeah, no. I feel like we've had this conversation before where I've said it's on sale and you've gone, oh, let me look, let me go and look, and then you're like, oh, it's how fucking much? But yeah, no. It's an expensive game, but I bought it on my Switch and then bought it on my PC because I love it so much. So, you know, $20 is not a sale. I mean, that means it's $40 when it's not on sale, Mimi. That's wild. That is wild. Lego Lord of the Rings is in fact on sale. Nice. Oh, crime. It's a good game, and I can see the work that went into it. I can see the work that went into it, so I will I will say it's worth it. I feel like it's a bit steep. But it was good. It's a good game. I'm very glad that I bought it. I don't regret buying it. What's Caravan Sandwich? That was cute. Keep an eye on that one. Ooh, Death's Door's on sale. I've already bought that game. But I need to stream it. Right, I need to end stream because we all collectively need to go to bed. Including you, Mimi. You've been saying all stream you're tired. Pa, it's nearly 3 AM for you. That's just clicked in my head. Go to bed. Go to bed, friend. It's nearly 3 AM. Yeah. Okay, friends, deal. Okay, I'll stream tomorrow. We'll hopefully finish Professor Layton and the Last Spectre tomorrow. Okay? Deal. If I end stream like soon, that's what we'll do, okay? That's my offer to you. Then I should stop just looking down Steam. Okay. Okay, the only person I would be slightly tempted to raid is playing Lethal Company, and no thanks, I'm alright. I am in fact actually okay. So, we shall call it there for the stream. But I very, very much appreciate your being here. Yeah, okay, so that's the plan. Stream tomorrow again. I literally just said that. I don't know. I have no further thoughts for you. Barry, are you going on an adventure tomorrow, or was that just a BS excuse to our manager? Because if you're going where I think I overheard you're going, yes, I hope you have the best time with that. Are you gonna finish? Ooh, interesting. Love that. Hope you have a good time with it. It's happening just later on. Okay. Got you. I hope you have a lovely time then. I hear this song so much. It's a good song, but I'm getting fed up with it. You like the story? Nice. That's always good. That is good. Yeah, no, tomorrow I'm going to literally go to the shops and buy a hot dog pizza. I'm going to call my parents. That's a good song. Call my parents and stream. That's my only plans for the day. Probably watch a film. Probably play some video games. Off stream, play some No Man's Sky. That's what I'll do. So yeah, it's gonna be good. Okay, we're not going to raid anybody. So everybody have a great night. I hope you all had the best. That's weird. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow for another stream. Okay. Bye.
Squeak.
Go to bed.